Hi, K-pop lovers. Welcome back to our channel. Hey everyone, before we dive into what might be the most controversial discussion of 2026, make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe, drop a comment with your honest opinion on this topic, and turn on those notifications because this K-pop landscape is shifting faster than ever and you do not want to miss what's coming next. Trust me, by the end of this video, you're either going to be nodding in agreement or furiously typing in the comments section, and honestly, I'm here for both reactions. So here we are in February 2026, and the K-pop girl group scene is absolutely exploding right now. We've got Blackpink preparing to drop their mini-album Deadline on February 27th with 5 tracks including their pre-release hit Jump that already debuted at number 1 on Billboard Global 200. We've got Espa announcing their second full album coming later this year after winning multiple awards at the 2025 Mama Awards and currently touring Asia with their Espa and Ivy line tour. We've got Ivy making their comeback on February 23rd with their second full album Revive Plus featuring the pre-release track Bang Bang and the title track Black Hole, maintaining their status as a 7 consecutive million-seller group. And then there's BABYMONSTER, YG Entertainment's rookie monster group that debuted in April 2024 and has been absolutely shattering expectations left and right. The question burning through every K-pop community right now is simple but explosive. Has BABYMONSTER, in less than 2 years since debut, actually risen to become better than the established legends? Are they genuinely the best girl group of 2026? Let me give you the facts, the receipts, and the cold hard data, and then you can decide for yourself. Let's start with BABYMONSTER's meteoric rise because the numbers are genuinely insane. This 7-member group consisting of Ruka, Farita, Asa, Ahayan, Rami, Rora, and Chiquita debuted on April 1, 2024, with their EP BABYMONSTER. Their debut single Sheesh became the highest-charting K-pop girl group entry on Spotify that year, debuting at number 69 on the Daily Top Songs global chart with 1.76 million streams. The music video for their pre-debut single Batter Up amassed 22.59 million views within 24 hours, becoming the most viewed debut music video in the first 24 hours in K-pop history. It also became the fastest debut music video to reach 100 million views, achieving this in just 18 days. Within 40 days of their debut, BABYMONSTER was already performing in arena-class venues, selling out 26,000 tickets at their Tokyo stop alone during their inaugural fan meeting tour. Fast forward to their first studio album Drip released in November 2024, which sold over 1 million copies in South Korea and marked 820,000 orders within the first week, nearly doubling their debut album sales. The title track Drip peaked at number 30 on Billboard Global 200 and gained massive popularity after their live performances at SBS Gayo Taejun and the first take in Japan went viral. As of 1 year after their official debut, BABYMONSTER surpassed cumulative album sales of 1.72 million copies. Billboard literally called them the most promising K-pop newcomer of 2024, and they've exceeded that prediction by a massive margin. Now in 2025, BABYMONSTER released their second extended play We Go Up in October, and they embarked on the Hello Monsters World Tour which expanded to 32 shows across 20 cities, doubling the scale of their previous fan meetings. But here's where things get really interesting. In 2026, BABYMONSTER is preparing for major activities. They're scheduled to release a new single titled I'm Like Hot Sauce, with promotions featuring 6 members as Rami continues her recovery from health issues related to pneumothorax. The group is currently active with Ruka, Farita, Asa, Ahayan, Rora, and Chiquita, and they've maintained incredible momentum despite member absence. Their B-side track Really Like You from the Drip album, which was co-written by winners Mino, experienced a reverse chart surge in January and February 2026, climbing charts again due to a viral challenge. YG Entertainment responded by releasing a special live performance video and having BABYMONSTER perform the song on M Countdown in February. The song's unexpected popularity showcases something crucial about BABYMONSTER. Their music has longevity and organic appeal that keeps bringing listeners back. But let's address the elephant in the room. How does BABYMONSTER compare to Blackpink, the undisputed queens who paved the way? Blackpink is coming back on February 27, 2026, with their third mini-album Deadline featuring 5 tracks. Their pre-release single Jump dropped in July 2025 and immediately hit number 1 on Billboard Global 200, became their 10th entry on the Billboard Hot 100 at number 28, and topped charts in Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan, Thailand, and Vietnam. They embarked on the Deadline World Tour in July 2025, their first all-stadium tour, and became the first K-pop girl group to headline Wembley Stadium in London. Blackpink's influence is unmatched, their global recognition is legendary, and their comeback is being treated as a massive cultural event. But here's the thing that nobody wants to say out loud: Blackpink has been on a group hiatus since their 2022 album Born Pink. They've focused on solo activities, with members like Rose achieving massive solo success with her album Rosie selling over 100,000 copies in the first week. During Blackpink's absence from group activities between 2022 and 2025, the K-pop landscape transformed. Newer groups didn't just wait around, they evolved and conquered. And that's where BABYMONSTER comes in. During the 3 years when Blackpink was mostly absent as a group, BABYMONSTER debuted, built a massive international fanbase, achieved million-seller status, broke YouTube records, entered Billboard charts, completed a world tour, and established themselves as a performance powerhouse known for singing live with handheld mics on every music show. They didn't ride anyone's coattails, they created their own lane with their own identity. Critics initially compared BABYMONSTER's sound to Blackpink, with some calling their debut single Sheesh overly derivative. But by the time Drip was released, BABYMONSTER had found their color and their group identified the song as most representative of who they are. Their mini-album We Go Up in 2025 reflected each member's artistic aspirations and showed genuine artistic growth. The 7 members are labeled as versatile artists who can seamlessly mold into any musical style, having ventured into diverse genres throughout their career despite being active for less than 2 years. Now let's talk about Espa, SM Entertainment's metaverse girl group that's been dominating. In 2025, Espa had 2 comebacks with Dirty Work and Rich Man from their 6th mini-album, and they've been touring with Espa and Kae's Eyes line across Asia, with recent sold-out shows in Hong Kong on February 7 and 8, 2026. They're preparing a second full album for 2026, which Karina announced during their acceptance speech at the 2025 Mama Awards, where they won Best Dance Performance, Best Choreography, and Fans' Choice Top 10. Espa has established themselves with their unique concept, powerful performances, and consistent chart success. They're SM Entertainment's answer to the 4th generation, and they've delivered. But when we compare raw rookie impact and speed of growth, BABYMONSTER's trajectory has been steeper and faster. Espa built gradually and strategically, while BABYMONSTER exploded onto the scene and has maintained that explosive energy. And then there's Ivy, the Starship Entertainment group that's been called self-confidence personified. Ivy just dropped their pre-release Bang Bang on February 9, 2026, from their second full album Revive Plus coming February 23 with the title track Black Hole. In 2025, Ivy's Rebel Heart topped major domestic music charts and achieved the first perfect all-kill of 2025, earning them the year's first Triple Crown trophy on music shows. They're a 7 consecutive million-seller group, meaning every single one of their releases has sold over 1 million copies. Member Jang Wonyoung participated in writing lyrics for Bang Bang, continuing her track record of contributing to Ivy's musical identity. Ivy represents elegant confidence and self-love, and they've dominated domestically in Korea with incredible consistency. But internationally, BABYMONSTER has built a more explosive global presence faster, particularly in terms of YouTube metrics, streaming numbers outside Korea, and international tour scale as rookies. So here's the controversial take that has everyone divided: BABYMONSTER might actually be the best positioned girl group of 2026, not because they're more talented than Blackpink, not because they're more established than Espa, and not because they have more perfect all-kills than Ivy, but because they represent the perfect combination of YG's proven formula: 4th generation energy, genuine versatility, and absolutely insane work ethic. They debuted into an incredibly competitive landscape and immediately made noise. They achieved arena-class touring within 40 days of debut. They became million sellers within their first year. They've shown they can handle any concept from hip-hop to ballads to pop to rock. Every single member is a strong vocalist, rapper, or dancer, with many being multi-talented across categories. They perform live consistently, which builds trust with audiences. Their music, while initially criticized as derivative, has evolved into something distinct. And perhaps most importantly, they've built all of this while still being rookies with less than 2 years of group activity. But let's be absolutely clear about something. Saying BABYMONSTER is rising fast doesn't mean Blackpink is falling. Blackpink's legacy is secure. They opened doors that nobody else could open. They brought K-pop to Coachella, to the Grammy stage, to global mainstream consciousness in ways that created opportunities for every group that came after. When Blackpink returns with Deadline on February 27th, they're going to dominate because they're Blackpink. The Jump's single already proved they can take breaks and come back stronger. Their stadium tour proved their drawing power hasn't diminished. But the K-pop industry has evolved into a space where multiple groups can exist at the top simultaneously, each bringing something unique. Blackpink brings legendary status and proven global appeal. Espa brings SM Entertainment's production quality and conceptual innovation. Ivy brings domestic dominance and self-assured elegance. And BABYMONSTER brings rookie hunger, performance versatility, and that YG edge that made people fall in love with 2NE1 and Blackpink in the first place. The data shows BABYMONSTER's growth trajectory is unprecedented for a rookie group. Selling over 1.7 million albums in your first year, charting on Billboard's main charts as a debut group, achieving the fastest debut music video to 100 million views, performing in arenas within weeks of debut, these aren't normal accomplishments. These are exceptional achievements that indicate something special is happening. When Billboard calls you the most promising K-pop newcomer and you exceed that expectation, that means something. When your B-sides are experiencing reverse chart surges 7 months after release because fans genuinely love the music, that means your artistry resonates. When member Ahyun's fancams regularly hit millions of views and member Asa's rap versus trend globally, that means you have star power. When your live vocals are praised consistently despite being rookies, that means you have substance beyond visuals and production. But here's what makes this discussion so controversial and why fandoms are fighting about it. We're living in the first era of K-pop where generational overlap is happening at the top level. Second generation and third generation groups either disbanded or members left before fourth generation fully emerged. But now we have third generation legends like Blackpink still active while fourth generation groups like BABYMONSTER, Espa, and Ivy are all hitting their stride simultaneously. This creates direct comparison and competition that hasn't existed before at this scale. Every comeback is compared. Every achievement is weighed against others. Every milestone is contextualized within a crowded landscape. And because K-pop fandoms are passionate, these comparisons turn into battles. But maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe the competition pushes everyone to be better. Maybe having multiple strong groups means more diversity, more quality, more innovation. The truth is that BABYMONSTER's rise is controversial precisely because it's legitimate. If they were flopping, nobody would care. If their achievements were fabricated or bought, the conversation would be different. But they're genuinely achieving these milestones, genuinely building a dedicated fanbase called Monsties, genuinely delivering quality music and performances, and genuinely competing at the highest level despite being the newest player in the game. That makes some people uncomfortable because it disrupts established hierarchies. It challenges assumptions about how long it should take to reach certain levels. It forces acknowledgement that the new generation isn't just following the path laid by predecessors, they're creating their own path alongside those predecessors. So are they better than the others? That depends entirely on how you define better. In terms of legacy and cultural impact, Blackpink remains unmatched. In terms of domestic chart dominance and perfect all kills, Ivy has incredible consistency. In terms of conceptual innovation and SM entertainment polish, Espa delivers. But in terms of rookie impact, growth speed, performance versatility, and sheer momentum heading into 2026, BABYMONSTER is absolutely making a case that they belong in the conversation at the very top. Not in 5 years. Not someday. Right now. In February 2026, less than 2 years after debut, BABYMONSTER is releasing new music, maintaining viral relevance, selling out tours, and competing directly with groups that have been in the industry much longer. That's not diminishing anyone else's achievements. That's acknowledging that BABYMONSTER has achieved something remarkable and the industry is better for having them in it. The real answer to whether BABYMONSTER is better than Blackpink, Espa, or Ivy is that they don't need to be better. They need to be themselves. They need to continue growing, continue delivering quality music, continue connecting with fans, continue pushing boundaries. The K-pop industry is big enough for multiple queens. The success of one group doesn't require the failure of another. What we're witnessing in 2026 is a golden age of girl groups where Blackpink can headline stadiums, Espa can sell out arenas, Ivy can sweep music show wins, and BABYMONSTER can break rookie records, all simultaneously. As fans, we win because we get to experience incredible music and performances from multiple sources. The competition raises the bar for everyone, and that benefits us. So before you go, make sure you hit that like button if this video gave you a new perspective or confirmed what you've been thinking all along. Subscribe if you want more deep dives into K-pop's biggest debates and controversies. Drop a comment and tell me honestly, do you think BABYMONSTER deserves to be in the conversation with the established legends? Are they genuinely better, or are they just benefiting from good timing and YG's resources? Do you think the comparisons are fair, or should rookies be evaluated on their own merits separate from senior groups? And most importantly, which group's 2026 comeback are you most excited for? Blackpink's Deadline, Espa's upcoming full album, Ivy's Revive Plus, or BABYMONSTER's next release? I want to hear every single opinion because this is the conversation defining girl group K-pop in 2026. Share this video with your friends because trust me, everyone has thoughts on this topic and we need to hear them all. I'll see you in the next video where we'll break down even more of the biggest K-pop moments of 2026. Until then, keep streaming your favorites, keep supporting quality music, and remember that great artistry deserves recognition regardless of how long a group has been active. Annyeong.